Welcome. So for class today, blocks and a strap could be helpful. And yeah, we'll start off in a gentle seat. So any kind of seated position that feels nice for you will work. Resting your arms down at your sides, maybe hands on the legs. And you can close your eyes and just start to shift a little more deeply into your breathing. And then from your breath, just gently move your hips around a little bit side to side, your ribs, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Play around with easy movements to bring balance back into the body. Gradually allowing those movements to develop as much as they need until you start to still yourself once more. And when you get to a still place, turn your palms to be upward facing, eyes closed, and start to breathe in such a way that you can soften your skin a little bit more. And try your best to relax from the outside in. And as you notice yourself become a little distracted by things, just acknowledge with awareness what that happens to be. And I wonder what it would be like for you to perceive a little more about your environment right now, actually trying to hear the sounds around you that might otherwise be considered distractions. Maybe some traffic outside or beings walking around your home, maybe music or an airplane flying around, construction. Try to expand your awareness as much outside of you as inside of you. Just observe all these spaces. And when you start to feel or sense, or whenever you can identify that you have a strong opinion about any of that stuff, like, oh, that noise is so distracting, it's taking me out of my practice, for example, I want you just to try to lower your barriers. You can say to yourself, barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, without labeling or judging that external sound. Just, just acknowledge it. See what it's like to even receive it from it as contribution. And it's in this way that we can begin to monitor our presence, how we move through and show up in the world as being part of, as compared to independently living in. And we'll try to practice this in motion today. So take as much more time as you would like, as you would enjoy in your seated position. When you want to begin moving, you're going to go ahead and come to tabletop position and start to move through cat cow. Try the cat-cow shapes a few more times, in and out, and of course, feel free to move in any way that feels nice for you. And then we're gonna go into the hips right away, into Gomukhasana. So extend your right leg back, bring the left knee to the middle of your mat. Move your left foot to the right side of your mat, and then bring the right knee behind the left knee. Open the right foot wide as well, and use your hands to push back into your hips, right? And maybe you stay fairly upright. Maybe you grab a block, put it under your pelvis. Maybe you go even further and further back and down. And take several breaths. Yeah. And you can notice any opinions you might be coming to about the state of your hips. Oh, my hips are very open. That's a good thing. Or my hips are very tight. That's a bad thing, right? And neither of which is necessarily helpful. It's really all ego stuff right there. So we can just dismiss it and instead lower your barriers and expand out and try to notice more of the whole of your body, but also more of the whole of your experience as being on a mat somewhere on the planet, beings and life all around you, what you're receiving from them, and also what you're contributing. You're going to change sides coming up. Left leg will go back, and take your time, bring the right knee in, take the foot wide, so on and so forth, coming to your second side. Hmm. Go for two more breaths. Right, so we're starting with deep hip work, releasing in the outer hip so that we can feel there's a little bit more range to work with. Right, back to tabletop, back to cat cow. And then when you're finished with cat cow, you're going to go down dog. And it's just your own pace, whatever works for you. Now, when you get to down dog, take your feet a little wider than you would normally, and perhaps even bring your feet a little closer to your hands. Ah, just notice what makes it easier for your hips and try to choose that initially. Tone your calf muscles forward, especially the upper calf, and keep toning your calf muscles forward and try to sense your sitting bones descending, allowing them just to drop down towards the floor a little bit more. Take another breath or two, feeling your pelvis readjust itself. And then you can move your legs to a more traditional downward facing dog shape. And, any kind of movements that might feel good for you in these early down dogs, etc. From down dog, we'll come to the front of our mat. Try to reset your neck and your head. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine and fold a couple times like this. And the movement's as big as feels nice for you, as much as feels helpful, right? And then the next time you fold, stay in the fold, bend one leg at the knee, keep the opposite leg straight, and just, notice where the stretch happens to be showing up for you. And if it feels productive to move the hips a little bit left and right, again, just trying to take a broader picture of your body in the shape
of your shape in the space. You can change legs, bending the second leg, straightening the first, moving around. Yeah, great. And then let both knees bend. You're going to roll upright to stand. Inhale, take the arms up to the sky, reach up. Exhale, fold down to the floor. Tap in. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, walk back down dog. Breathe into high plank pose. Breathe out to the floor. Breathe into a back bend, and then go back to down dog. Just real classical Surya A. Several breaths here. Look forward as you inhale, step or jump, exhale, front of the mat. Lengthen, inhale, fold, exhale. All the way up, breathe in. Hands to the heart, breathe out. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step or jump into chaturanga. Making your way to downward facing dog pose. And then from down dog, breathe in high plank. And everyone breathe out all the way to the floor. Send your arms back. Shalambhasana, 5 breaths. Tailbone stretches down. Yeah. Open your arms as much as you need to feel the shoulders opening wider. Just getting more and more space in your upper back. After your 5th breath, hands by the ribs, end with upward facing dog pose. And then down dog. Great. Reset your neck, reset your head. Take a bigger picture of yourself in the pose. So chances are they're the obvious spots that really speak to you in the down dog, but what else can you be aware of? Right? Look forward as you breathe in, step or jump, breathe out. Lengthen, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. One more time, inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Step, jump, or flow to dog. Good. Inhale, high plank. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Good. Look at your feet, lift and spread your toes, and try to explore the full leg. Right? So even just looking part by part in the body, are the feet balanced with each other? Are the inner and outer seams of the legs balanced with each other? Right? How can you adjust to bring more evenness into the entirety of the leg from the foot to the hip? Right? What's possible there? You're going to take your right leg up for split. And as the right leg goes up for split, lift the right hip and bend the right leg at the knee. So you're just opening the right hip. Okay. Now keep the right hip opening. Notice the left hip. For most of us, the left hip's compressing. So I want you to press the outer left hip back towards the wall behind you until you feel that the outer left hip is opening as well. Exhale, bring the right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, open, twist, and split. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, open, twist, and split. 3 more times. Try to only go so far or so fast as you can keep opening both hips, right? And then you're going to end with wide leg, low lunge, taking the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Come up onto your fingertips and just root down into that right heel. Keep pushing down into the right heel and try to pull the right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Then squeeze your left thighs and push your left thigh up towards the sky. Can you pull the left thigh bone into its hip socket? Yeah. So I want you to work on doing both of those things together. Stage 2, bring it into a twist. Take the right arm up to the sky. Keep pulling the thigh bones into the hips. Keep stabilizing your pelvis and lifting from your pelvis all the way up and through to create as much of an opening as feels good for you. Powerful big twist. Let go of how much time you think you're supposed to be in the pose and just breathe, right? Expand yourself. And even that like opinion of timing is just another way to wall up, right? To create judgment and distract yourself from the overall experience of being conscious with your presence. Downward facing dog or flow to down dog. Left leg high for split. Bend the leg at the knee, twist open. As you open the left hip, open the right, push the outer right hip back. Exhale, left knee towards left elbow. Inhale, twisted split. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, twisted split, right? Several times. We did 5 last time, maybe 5 this time. And then after you've done your 5th, wide leg, low lunge. Fingertips, stabilize down into the left heel. Pull the left thigh bone back. Stabilize up through the right thigh. Pull the right thigh bone in. Then maybe go for the twist. Barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, and just expand out in every way. Right? Try to hear more what's going on around you. Try to acknowledge those things that might otherwise become a distraction or create an anger or some kind of big, oddly sized emotional response, and then just soften to that, lower your barriers, allow it to contribute. Step or flow to down dog. Right leg for splits. Knee to nose, exhale. 5 times. Place the foot. Warrior 1. Good, expand out. Warrior 2, right? A lot of these practices prioritize a turning inward, which is fantastic, right? It's really important. And it's also only half the story. Right? Reverse warrior 2, but stay established in your front leg's foundation. Keep rooting down through the thigh. And especially as things come up for you in the more challenging poses, just notice that. Try to drop your barriers to it. You're going to straighten the front leg, reverse a triangle shape. And then you can adjust into classical triangle. So this is when some of us might grab a block. I want you to make it as comfortable as possible to have your hand down, your right hand down. Yeah. And then lift your toes and try to wake up the muscles from your foot to your calves. And then wake up the muscles from your calves to your thighs, all the way up to your hips. And see if you can lift your left hip higher and then pull the right thigh bone into the hip socket. Left hip higher, right thigh bone pulls back, okay?
So those actions, I want you to try to bring with you into half moon pose, into Ardha Chandrasana. You might bring that block with you with your right hand. So again, engage the muscles of your legs from your feet up to your calves, calves to the thighs, thighs to your hips. Try to plug the thigh bones into your hip sockets. So you're not falling down into the earth with gravity, you're engaging up. You're engaging up. Maybe bring your left foot to your buttock, hold the thigh, breathe into the pose fully, whatever shape you're in. Ready, we're gonna come out of this into standing split. Just gonna square off your hips, hands to the floor, stretch the legs as much as feels nice for you. Bless you. Yeah, and then from the standing split, step or jump or flow to downward facing dog pose. Cool. Let's do the second side, okay? Take your left leg for split, pendulum a few times. And then you can place the foot by the thumb. Come on up, warrior one. And establish a nice strong base here. Relax your shoulders down. Let your awareness expand. So you're feeling the full pose, but also you're feeling again your room, maybe even the building you're in, people around you. Yeah. Warrior two. Opening in warrior two. Again, try to relax your shoulders in the shape. Steady in your base. Keep stretching out through your fingers. Reverse warrior two. And then reverse triangle pose. Steady transition, classical triangle shape. Breathe. Maybe close your eyes and feel center. Engage the leg muscles all the way up to center. Lengthen through your spine, through your arms, and expand out a bit more. Keeping the actions very strong in the legs. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Staying as you are, maybe trying the thigh stretch variation if that feels joy for you. Everyone try to engage the bottom leg thigh up, top leg thigh in. Breathe fully into the pose. Standing split to come out, right? Really any way that's gonna feel nice for you to be in standing split. You know, if your low back is tight chronically, square off the hips more. I promise that'll help a lot to create more space in your low back. You know, if you prefer to let that right leg lift higher and higher and that brings you joy, go for that. Whenever you're finished, you're going to step, jump, or flow to downward facing dog.
Couple of very big breaths in down dog, re-engaging that outward expansion. Right, and you can even feel it physically. Push your hands down, push your legs back. Just try to grow the space of your physical body. Yeah, from the rootedness in your hands on your exhale, step or jump to the front of your mat. Ah, Uttanasana. Now you might grab your strap here, and with your strap, come upright to stand. Mhm. Hi, bud. Cool. So we're gonna stand. I'm gonna turn to face towards you so it's easier for you to see. With your strap, you can just have your strap around your neck because you might need it. You might not. Right? No big deal. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Come on in. And you can start off nice and deep down. Yeah, hands on thighs, maybe arms at your side, maybe classical, arms up to the sky, right? Whatever works for you, choose that. And then from Utkatasana, shift weight to your left foot, bring your right ankle over the knee. And you're gonna sit down a little deeper into it. Great. Try to bring your forearms to the thigh, or rather to the shins. This is Ekapada Agni Stambhasana. Okay. So, whatever leg is on top, right leg, that hand holds the big toe, or that hand holds the strap and loops the strap around the foot. Okay. Your standing leg hand goes back to the standing leg hip, and you're going to come upright to stand. Right, left hand on left hip or standing leg hip, right hand at the bent foot, right? Keep the leg bent out to the side, stand upright. And then slowly start to extend the leg out at that angle, right? So the foot's at a 45-degree angle. And for most of us, this will make it a little easier to be in the shape, right? Lining up better with the psoas. And try to take several breaths here, keeping the shoulder plugged back in, right? So the strap can be really helpful for us to maintain a healthy integration in our shoulder. Yeah, and breathe, right? And notice this is a wonky one. I'm gonna start to open the leg out to the side, right? A lot of things can come up for us in balance poses, right? We can have a lot of judgments, a lot of opinions. So just take a couple of moments to breathe. And expand out. And when you notice a judgment or an opinion or something, just drop your barriers. I want you to try no hands for 3 breaths. And then you can bring the foot down, arms can go up. Take a big breath in, reach through your body. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Second side, ankle to knee, Agni Stambhasana, sit down into it. Keep the feet flexing, right? So remember the earlier poses. Activate tone and charge from the soles of the feet all the way up. You're gonna stay as you are, or hand to the foot. Right hand goes back to the hip. Come upright to stand with the leg bent at an angle.
Mhm. And keeping the angle, extend the leg. Aim for 5 good breaths in each shape. Strong, steady breathing. You're going to open out to the side if you'd like. And then 3 breaths, no hands. Then bring the leg down, arms up. Big inhale. And then as you exhale, fold down, bend the legs at the knees, wrap your arms around the back of the legs. Yeah, deepen the forward fold in the knee where it feels good for you. Cool. Step, jump, or flow to down dog. Yeah. So I'm going to try that pose again, the ankle to knee pose. And we'll shift it into the arm balance called Ekapada Galabhasana, or some people call it flying pigeon. Now, if you're not in the mood to do an arm balance today, well, do pigeon instead. Bring your right leg forward and enjoy a nice pigeon on the right side. Everyone else that wants to try the arm balance, come to the front of your mat, grab your blocks, have them nearby. Come upright to stand, chair pose, Utkatasana, right ankle over the left knee. So either you're in pigeon, doing that nice classic hip opener, or really any hip opener that you enjoy. You can do the wide leg, low lunge again, like we did earlier. If you're with me, stage 1 is just like this in Ekapada Agni Stambhasana. Stage 2, the hands will go down to the floor or on the blocks. Now, if you're in stage 2, make sure that your hands are as wide as your shoulders and you wrap your toes of the right foot around the left arm. All stage 2, getting comfortable here. Stage 3, you start to bend the arms at the elbows, lean forward. You're creating a little shelf with your arms for your upper body to rest down on. Push your leg into your arms, stage 3. Try to bring the back foot up. And maybe the full form is to send the back leg towards the wall behind you. Ekapada Galabhasana, flying pigeon. Yeah. Come out, take a breath, pause. Yeah, breathe. Not everyone does everything in a yoga class. It's not the point. We're going to change sides. So if you're in pigeon or whatever hip over you're in, change sides, please. Now, I'm going to show you another alternate for Galabhasana. And some people will find this one a lot more helpful. So left leg forward or standing on your right leg on a block is an option. Left ankle over the right knee. So you can be on a block or not. Now, being on a block can do a number of different things, can really force a little fear into you. So barriers down, and you can observe that response and expand outward instead of contracting inward, right? Instead of leaning into the fear, open yourself out to all the possibilities. And the block lifting your hips can actually make it a little easier to float or to place yourself into the pose. So stage 2, your hands have got to go all the way down to the floor, right? Which will feel a lot further because it is further. Stage 3, get the palms flat, create a shelf.
And this is when the block really helps under the foot because it makes it that much easier just to float into it. Wrap the toes around. Try and get the back foot up, right? And then stage 4, you try to straighten the back leg as much as you can. Yeah, huzzah. Congratulations. Downward facing dog pose, everyone. So, if those things are interesting to you and you want to try them again, try them again. Pause, rewind, give it a shot. Everybody else, we're going to go for a little inversion time, right? Yeah. And we're going to take about 3 minutes to be in inversion. And the first inversion that anyone can do is just going to be to lay on their back, legs up the wall. And it's a fantastic one. Right? So you can come there and enjoy. Now, if you have active inversion practices like forearm balance or handstand, by all means, you can go into them. For today, I'm going to bring us through headstand. Now, when you come into headstand, you can do it at a wall if you'd like, so that the wall can catch you, which is really fantastic. You just want to make sure that you're grounded well in your forearms. So firmly push your forearms down so that you can keep your shoulders well lifted. Bring the head down to the floor between the hands. Tuck your toes, walk in. Again, I'm actively pushing my forearms down so that I'm engaging my upper body as I come into this little cannonball squat. And then from pushing my forearms down, I can steady myself enough to lift my legs in practice. Right? And barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. Every time we fall out, we might want to judge ourselves. Remember in the shape to keep rooting forearms into the earth, toning the shoulders away from the ears. It might feel fun or productive to play with the legs in different shapes, maybe opening them wide. Tapping the floor. Or various other things. Whenever you find that you're finished, try down dog just to reset the head and the neck. Notice how focused your mind feels after an inversion. Your arms nice and strong. High plank pose. Chaturanga. Cobra. Pull your elbows down and back to broaden your chest and hold to work the front body longer. Keep your legs squeezing in. Downward facing dog. And then you can step or jump. Chair pose, front of the mat. As long as your knees feel safe, you're going to lower from chair into boat pose. If your knees don't feel safe in that transition, just meet us in boat. Yeah, good, friends. From boat, reverse table or reverse plank, your choice, right? So reverse table or reverse plank. Back to boat, holding the legs or not. Reverse table or reverse plank again. One more set, Navasana, boat. Reverse plank or table one last time. And then Dandasana, pushing down into your inner thighs. Lift your spine, sitting tall, shoulders back. Keep that lift. Bring your left ankle to the right knee, above and outside it, or bring the edge of the left foot into the right hip crease for half lotus. So figure four or half lotus, fold forward. So we're getting an outer hip stretch on the left leg, hamstring, calf on the right. Coming up, changing sides. Ankle to knee, or outer edge of the foot to the hip crease. Folding in. Coming upright. Dandasana again. Sit tall, shoulders back. And then Tarasana, bring your legs a little closer in, let the knees drop out. So the feet will be about 5 to 8 inches away from one another, the soles of the feet. And the heels will be about a foot and a half away from your pelvis. Then you're just going to round your spine in. Right, perhaps head or forehead comes to the floor.
And stay in Tarasana longer, or if you'd like the more active cousin pose, Baddha Konasana, bringing the feet back closer to your hips, push the feet together, stretch the knees apart, and forward fold, whatever that means to you. Trying to keep both the front of the spine and the back even and in balance with each other as you fold. Coming upright. One more little hip opening series. So you can take both legs out in front of you, and we can go right ankle over left knee, stage one, or both legs stacked, stage two. Twist towards the top knee. One of my favorite ways to close a deeper hip practice is this little mini Agni Stambhasana series. I'm going to come just halfway out of the twist and fold down along the left, or sorry, the top leg, so the right knee is diagonal. And then you can shift all the way over on top of both legs, folding down. And perhaps rest your head on a block. And even in this little contracted seed-like space, try to expand your awareness out. Last breath. Come up, change sides. Stage one, the bottom leg is straight. Stage two, the legs are stacked. Twist. Coming halfway out, just folding down on the diagonal.
And then gently ease yourself to the center line, folding evenly over both legs. Gently come upright. That's right, friends. Legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana for a neutral forward fold. So clear the flesh and just see if you can enjoy the getting there as much as the being there. Easing yourself kind of into the process of the pose. And then once in the pose, just work your breath. Inhale and exhale fully. Try inhaling halfway, inhaling all the way, and exhaling. Again, like that. Exhaling. And perhaps bring it into thirds. Inhale 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale all the way. Exhale. Again. 2/3. All the way. Exhale. Big breath in. And exhale all the breath out. Coming upright. And then onto your back for happy baby's pose. And you can rock around in any way that feels nice for you and your happy baby. And then from happy baby, let's come into a twist. So you can do your favorite twist, whatever that is. I'm going to lead us through Supta Gomukhasana. So cross your right knee on top of your left knee. Move your hips over to the right, arms to a T shape or to cactus. And then with the legs lifted, drop the knees over to the left. Keep your shoulders pinned down to the earth. It's going to be much more important than how far the legs twist. Shoulders grounded, arms grounded, and then the lower spine, the hips and the legs get to twist out of that stability.
And whenever you're ready, changing sides. Out of the twist, Shavasana, easy adjustment for your body. And try to stay still in your Shavasana. Expand your awareness out and enjoy all the space inside and all the space around you. And if you have no limit of time today, just remain in Shavasana as long as your body is receiving from this pose, truly luxuriating in all the spaciousness. And whenever the time is right, your body will know you can come to a comfortable seat, acknowledging once more the power of being present with yourself and present on this planet. Dropping our barriers again and again and again whenever resistance comes up, acknowledging that as the defense mechanism it is, designed to shut us down and wall us up. And as advancing yogis, we learn to see this again and again and make a choice towards consciousness, spaciousness, and presence on this world. Gentle chant a poem whenever you want to close class, humming, singing, easy breathing. Thank you all so much. Om Shanti. Namaste.